Mari bergabung dengan Master Marine 1 juta video dunia maritim untuk mengenal dunia maritim. Jangan lupa subscribe karena subscribe itu gratis. Share dan like.
Archaeological evidence suggests that trade started 7,000 years ago. Primitive boats appeared 6,000 years ago. They carried high-value, low-volume cargo. Trade expanded along the Nile, Euphrates, and Indus rivers. Cargoes became bulkier and more perishable. About 700 BC, Phoenician ships and sailors opened the Mediterranean to trade. From Phoenicia in the east all the way to the gates of Suez or Gibraltar in the west. Alexander the Great forced Central Asian trade with the Greeks. The Romans followed, but with money, and standard weights, laws, and security. The Romans increased trade volume and diversity. Venetian galleys re-established maritime trade following the Dark Ages. The Renaissance was built on maritime trade. Venetian Marco Polo re-established trade with China in 1270. Trade moved with cooperation from the Arabs on dhows crewed by sailors of the Sinbad era. In 1497, Vasco da Gama of Portugal rounded the Cape of Good Hope to avoid the Arabs and Persians. Portuguese caravels sailed closer to the wind and carried more cargo. In the meantime, Christopher Columbus opened the New World in 1492. Spanish galleons immediately began their exploitation of America's riches. John van Linschoten of the newly independent Protestant Dutch Republic acquainted his countrymen with the secrets of the Spice Islands in 1596, paving the way for the successful Dutch East India Company. Meanwhile, Francis Drake of Elizabethan England would inspire English sea trade and plunder in 1580. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth chartered the British East India Company. Modern globalization was in gear. By 1670, King Charles II granted the East India Company rights to mint money, command forts, form alliances, and make war in India. In the Americas, England chartered the Hudson Bay Company, established New York and New Jersey when the Dutch surrendered New Amsterdam, and encouraged privateer Henry Morgan to sack Panama City. After Britain's Glorious Revolution of 1688, economist Joshua Child promoted mercantilism, which lowered interest rates and controlled English trade with its colonies. In 1757, Colonel Robert Clive defeated a French-supported native force in Plassey, giving the company its conquest of India. In 1776, Adam Smith published Wealth of Nations, which defined capitalism. Economist David Ricardo then turned mercantilism on its head by defining the law of comparative advantage. American colonists were ready to dump mercantilism in favor of capitalism. In 1783, the colonies won their independence. The United States' first treasurer, Alexander Hamilton, was more than willing to promote free trade and reasonable credit. A new era of maritime trade was off and running. America's seaports exploded with trade. One commodity, cotton, not only became more plentiful, its availability spawned the modern fashion industry. By 1874, William Lindsay had it all documented